Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the review video for NHL 15 for the Xbox One. This is the second look I've taken at the game. This is a much better in-depth view because this is actually the full version instead of the demo this time. Gonna jump in here straight into GM mode, kind of show you what's changed, what is kind of missing from the game. Give you a little more feedback on the score on the blog below. Playing a season here as, or a GM mode here as the Colorado Avalanche, my favorite team. Gonna kind of jump in, just show you a little bit of what's here and what's not. Under the team management side of things, you can take a look at the jersey numbers, set captains. Kind of usual fare. I like this menu a lot better than previous gens just for changing jersey numbers. It's kind of good to have the graphical representation there. Jump into the edit lines here, show you how that works, how the menu works. Again, not a bad system, just not laid out quite properly. The left and right triggers get you back and forth between special teams, I guess regular play, I guess, for lack of a better word. And then once you drop down, like as in special teams here, you see you have the power play, the four-man power play, the penalty kill, so on and so forth. It's just, it gets the job done, but it's not elegant in any way, shape, or form. You can quick swap between players who are on that screen already by using the X button on the Xbox One. But it's just a little bit of a hassle, not as good as it could be, but maybe that'll get better next year. Beyond that, that's pretty much it. I'm in the playoffs here, so can't really show you signing or trading players, but we'll just jump into a game here real quick, and I'll kind of run through what's going on there, show you kind of the little bits of the gameplay here. Change the jersey here to the blue. I like that much better than their default home uniforms. Home jerseys. Cut the game time down here to 3 minutes, I think, just for the sake of brevity and not having to have you watch me play horrible hockey for a full 15 minutes. Won the first game of the playoff series, I think 5-2, I want to say. Long load times. You'll notice that here. The game just sits and sits and sits. Obviously it's loading assets here, but I don't know. Not just a singular problem to the NHL series here, though. The new consoles in general have pretty lengthy load times on almost everything you do, which it seems as though that should have been a priority on the new consoles. Right off the bat, you hop into the new NBC intros and presentation. I like it. As I mentioned in the previous video, I think it adds some character to it. You get the live Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk, and some weird black artifacting behind them. Someone's waving a huge towel, apparently. Kind of nice there as they cut to the bench. You actually see Ray Ferraro in the background, the other commentator, the third member of the team. Little thing there. The game looks pretty. It definitely is a step up. Outside of the fluttering jerseys, as you can see there, that happen all the time. And some of the kind of weird looking people in the crowd when you get close up. I think they nailed the visuals. There's some work to do still as far as smoothing things out and not having as many hitches in the gameplay, but for a first full pass on the new gens, it's pretty good. I think they have a very solid foundation there. So we'll see how we can do here. I am definitely not the best at the game. I've been only playing, probably played about 25-30 games. And it's definitely hard to play and hard to talk. Or hard to play while you talk, rather. As you will probably see here. The AI seems to do a pretty good job of defending both on your own team and who you're playing against. I really have never felt cheated by any goals the opposing team has scored, or on defense. When I give up a goal, it's usually because I screwed something up myself. At the same time, majority of the goals I've scored, I felt like I legitimately earned them. The skating feels great. It's very smooth. You can't make too many unnatural turns. I wouldn't call this realistic by any means, but it arcades the parts of the game up that you would want. You don't necessarily want a true to life game when you're playing. It's just not fun that way. Physics seem pretty good more often than not oh, well, there you go. I was talking and made a simple mistake and got scored on. The physics seem pretty good. When a bigger player hits a smaller player, you typically get the results that you want. Very rarely do you see a big strong guy get well, there you go. Another goal against us, and I get sloppy here. But yeah, the physics. Back to it again. Try it for a third time here. It feels good. Did a pretty decent job there. The puck moves relatively fluidly. Every once in a while you'll see a pass not quite the way it should go, or a player skate just slightly off kilter as far as what you would normally see. But in general, they did a very good job with the on-ice content, I guess. Gameplay. You see a little bit of that jersey flutter there that you see all the time in the game. I think they've changed something about the face-off mechanic this year versus years in the past. Seems a little bit harder. Not quite sure what. So, got a little bit of road to come back on here. See if we can come back from this. Oof, I was 0 for 2 on saves there. Scored on both shots they had on me. Not good. In-game audio seems pretty solid. The arena sounds live. The crowd is decent. Responds to the right things. Oh, I'd take a stupid penalty there. The sound of the puck, the ice, when you hit a post, hits all are very rewarding. The commentary from Doc Emmerich can get a little repetitive, as with a lot of sports games, and this is their first year recording, so presumably there's less lines of dialogue in it this year than there will be in follow-up years. Oh, come on, let's see if I make something happen here. Nope. Skated right past that. I'll take that. That breakaway down the ice there is a good example. I got scored on again there. But I made the mistake there. It wasn't me being cheated by the AI there. I skated past the puck. I tried a move I shouldn't have made. And that turned the other way and resulted in a goal for the opposing team. And that's a lot how the real NHL is. A team or a player makes a mistake, and you pay for it. See if I can claw my way back in this here. And if you get into what I just did there, that skate up the ice, try and pass across the crease, it's going to get you nowhere. That's kind of where I've been playing in this game. It's just kind of what I default to when I'm mindlessly playing. Try and focus down a little here and play a little better hockey and get back in it here. The game rewards puck movement in the offensive zone, getting them out of position, screens. Again, a lot like the real NHL. See if I can get back into that here. If you play a simple game, you get beat. See if we can get something going here. Oh. When in doubt, crash the net. See if we can get something before the period ends here. And nope.
Varlamov's athleticism in net was really put to test on that last quality opportunity. I still have no idea how he stopped that, Doc.
Minnesota's prevailed again on the face-off in the neutral zone. And they've got a 3-on-2 here.
And we'll end the period with absolutely nothing going. So,
For over a century, hockey has been 3 periods.
long shot to come back here, but we will we'll play it out. See how it goes.
Check out the shots on goal through these 2 periods.
Oh, and there's the freaky crowd.
6 for the Wild and
Oh man.
6 for Colorado. Varlamov's had
From a distance, the crowd looks great. The animations look good. The lighting is fantastic on the crowd, but man, those face models, oof, they're a little rough. Little freaky and a little weird. And MJ will be hugely disappointed to know that there is not a blimp in the arena. It's his favorite thing about going to Ducks games.
teams have played hard through 2, and we begin period 3. Catawampus to the corner by Koivu. 2 players came to the
There's a typical Doc Emmerich saying, Catawampus. You hear that about once every 2 or 3 periods. He uses that exact phrasing. Just a little bit of a demonstration of his repetitiveness. And he really does talk like that in the TV broadcast, and he's largely beloved for that, which is nice to see demonstrated in the game, but it's just very repetitive after a short amount of time.
right on goal.
See if we can get something going here.
Slid just inside
Move the
line
puck
to
around.
Martinez.
Nope.
On through the corner.
So when you cycle the puck, good things happen. See if we can...
They score.
There we go.
They only trail
Get a goal. Only down by 2. Let's see if we can make this a comeback. My roster is a little different. If you know who plays for Colorado, Jerome McGinley retired after the first year of my Be a GM mode. Went and signed Brad Richards, who finished his 1 year with Chicago, to replace him. Made a trade deadline acquisition for Elias from New Jersey. And over the summer, I drafted first overall via an automatic draft. That's another story of a feature missing from the GM mode. But it automatically drafts your players. And, oh, another goal. And it's a game. But the auto draft netted me a very highly rated prospect who I then flipped along with 3 other first-round draft picks to Nashville for Shea Weber, which definitely was an upgrade on my defense. Cut a few other players for salary cap reasons, but and a nice toothless grin from Ryan O'Reilly there. Player official models look decent. It's a huge upgrade over the previous years, but they still... There's only a small handful of players that they very clearly modeled or took some kind of facial scans of. Oh. Alright, we can tie this up here. Oof, good save. Oh, come on, come on. Oof. Nice clank of the post there.
Routine that time. A whistle and a rest.
Well, let's see if we can make this go to overtime. 5 minutes left. They don't hold a lot of hope, which is really probably about 40 seconds or a minute based on the fact we're playing 3-minute periods here. Nice big hit there. Come on, Gabe. See if we can get something happening here. Oh, nope. Almost. Minute to go. Well, that'll probably put the end to the comeback. We'll give it one more shot here, but don't think anything's going here. Previous years, the final minutes of each period slowed down to a live full minute, and I don't think that's the case here. You know, actually, I take it back. Looks like we are doing the full minute here, which is kind of nice. Lets you know what's going on, gives you a chance to actually win or make a comeback in the final minute of the game. Come on. Nope. And that'll about do it here. So, not an impressive showing by me as far as my gameplay skills, but I think you get the basics. You see the game plays very well. It looks good. Presentation's good. So if you're really in this for simply just playing the game, you will get your full money's worth out of this. If not, if you're looking for a deep GM mode, a huge online structure, you're just not going to find it here. Right now, your only online option is 1v1. There's no, you know, take a handful of players or live players and play against each other. Some of the best features of the previous game is you could have, you know, 6-on-6 with completely different players, or a full, you know, 12 human beings playing the game. Can't do that this year. Supposedly that's being patched in at some point, but I'll believe it when I see it. You're also missing typical modes such as a full season mode where you just jump in and play a season. There's no straight playoff mode where you jump in and play a playoff bracket or a tournament. There's no create a team. You can't edit players. You can still do be a player mode where you create your own player, but instead of being drafted and starting in the AHL, the minor league, you get straight into the NHL, and how it allocates ice time is weird. You have to watch from the bench everything that's going on within the game, so you can't skip to when you're on the ice next. Your player, even if you're on the fourth line, plays a disproportional amount of the game, along with your fourth line horrible teammates. So there's no real penalty for being bad, other than you have to play with bad teammates for a long time in the game. So the Be a Pro mode is very strict. Not really going to go into that, just because there's just not much to show. We'll pop into the Hockey Ultimate Team, which is the only mode that is fully there. And the cynic would say, well, it's here because this is the one part of the game where EA makes money on after release of the game. It's their typical fare of, you know, you have card game. It's a card game essentially within a real game of hockey, and you open fake card packs with players and arenas and uniforms and coaches, and build your team off of those packs. You can earn them with currency you earn in the game by doing certain events, meeting certain achievements, winning games, logging on at the right times, bonus stuff like that. But the big thing is, and why this feature is probably fully fleshed out, is you can also buy them with real money. I'll just change the name here real quick to fit their requirement there. So we'll open our starter pack here. The animation for opening a starter pack or any pack is pretty cool. I like how it all gets laid out. It's very rewarding. Never been a big fan of this mode just because I typically focus on the GM mode, but I might eventually get into this, I guess, just because it's all that's here this year, really. Get bonuses for logging on multiple days in a row, typical stuff there. There's rankings, everything's online. There's two ways to do this. You can do an online season, you can play solo, with your roster. I'm not going to do it just because you already saw the game and don't want to bore you any longer with that, but and you edit your rosters. Pretty typical fare there. Chemistry matters here. There's chemistry and ratings versus types of players you put together, if they're playing in the right positions, such. I don't think I can apply a consumable list as this player is not qualified for it, but each card you can upgrade with certain consumables, which some you get rewarded with, some come from packs. Presumably you can buy them. I've never really gotten into the money part of the thing. But yeah, the presentation's nice here. They obviously went and put a little effort into it as far as something everybody's going to look at a lot. Menu system's completely different. Can't say I like this as or any better or worse than the GM mode roster editing, but there's definitely a little more, I guess, graphics put into here. And apparently I have no head coach by default. That is fantastic. But yeah, if you're into this, if you're into the card game thing, the collection thing, this game is going to work for you. But if you're looking for deep simulation, you know, GM mode, online leagues, any of that stuff, it is simply not there. Which is disappointing, to say the least, just based on how good the actual game is and some of the strides they made in presentation. The core package is good. It's just everything surrounding it is just missing. It's empty. Can do new lineups and various things as well within the trading card game here. One other example is there's team strategy right there, front up in this menu. You cannot access that in play a game or GM mode unless you're starting a game. So you can't lock something in easily in other modes of the game. Disappointing. And apparently a download update while I was playing there. So last thing I want to show you is the practice mode, another area that's been criticized a little bit. Something I had never really played with all that much, but in previous versions of the games you had the full rosters out there playing against each other. You could make custom plays, so when your player hit a certain position on the ice it would trigger set plays if other players were positioned properly, which is kind of fun. I never really got it to work great, but again, a feature that just disappeared for no real apparent reason. All it is you and, well, another goalie. Good enough if you're just looking to practice your skills, but it's empty and hollow, just like pretty much every other feature of this game. Again, controls great. Little backskate there with the left trigger. Just empty. And with this last little bit of skating zen, this will finish the video review for NHL 15. Check out the blog post below or in the comment links for the full review and the score.